Hello and welcome. My name is Nadia and I'm your interior design consultant. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I truly believe that everybody can change their story and change their life, and interior design is a wonderful tool that can help you to change your journey and to change your life just by transforming your space one room at a time. So, thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been in this profession for about 20 years or more, and I've been helping people along their journey and changing their lives through these wonderful interior spaces. So this is a great opportunity to for you to join me on this journey today. Now, I have put together a series of design consultations for you. Now, you can either download them onto your phone or onto your laptop. So that's entirely up to you how you do it. But what I would say is once you have downloaded them onto your phone or your laptop, then you need to print out your hard copy. When I say hard copy, I mean, yes, literally paper paper copy of your consultations. So I'd say print out your hard copy of it. The reason why I say that is because even though you may have it on your phone or on your laptop or whatever iPad, they may run out of charge and at the most inopportune time when you need them. But if you've got the hard copy, you can always produce it, use it as and when you please. And also, there's a beauty of being able to scribble notes on it as well, things that inspire you and things that you see that you can use. And so that's really important to definitely do that. The other thing which is really important is in the second half of this, there'll be another video and it talks about the actual products that we're going to use within your interior space. And I'm going to be talking just the importance of collecting all your samples for those products. That's an important thing to bear in mind. That will be your working mood board. So at this point, I'm just going to talk to you about your chosen consultation, which is the Shabby Chic hallway. And the Shabby Chic style, and what the Shabby Chic style stands for. It is not a antique style, although you can have antique pieces in it. It is a style which reflects the history of a particular piece of furniture or an item or an area of a room. So that's what it is. It tells a story, it's the history of the piece. And so it's important to have it contrast against other pieces which are not shabby chic but are new in fact. And so that showcasing, when you have the contrast one piece against another, that showcases it and that makes that piece all the more special or tells even more of a story. So I would not encourage you to have the whole area as a shabby chic area. I would say have elements of it which stand out as against the backdrop of newer pieces to create that beautiful cohesive look of your shabby chic area. So a shabby chic hallway, wonderful, just great, just lets us launch in there. In this presentation, it's going to be split into four pieces. The first bit being the video, the next bit being the actual, introduction to the scenario. The scenarios being, I have related it to a certain family setting. So with this one, I've used the setting of Susan West, and I can put it a little bit closer so you can see it there. Susan West and her children, Bradley and Heather, and she's a single parent. She has been raised in a home by parents who run a second-hand store, so that's where her love of the whole shabby chic has come from. And so I've just used the scenario just to put it in context. Now, she lives in a 3-bedroom apartment. Now, you may live in a smaller accommodation, So I would say pare this consultation down to suit you, or you may live in a larger a house or 4 or 5 beds. So you can increase the items, increase the volumes to create your ideal interior, but you can still use the premise of this to create your beautiful home. So it's important to know that the you have chosen, like I say, the shabby chic style, and that your style reflects history of pieces. And the pieces could be dating back to the 1960s, 1950s, 1920s. They could be even something that's maybe a medieval piece, something, it could be as old as you want. It's about the preservation of it and that piece being presented to tell its own story. So that's really what the shabby chic is all about, that genre. Sometimes people overdo it and it starts looking very chaotic and it's just a bit too much. So I would say, looking at that, that's really for you to keep that in mind as you go forward with the shabby chic look. I have split this, as I said, into different sections from 1 through to 4. Number 4, 3 and 4 being the key that itemizes the products, and number 4 being the schedule, which tells you the actual product manufacturers and the suppliers where you can actually attain them from, and that's in the second video. This video was look at 1 and 2, which is the video presentation, which I'm doing here, and also the photo analysis of your hallway. I have split this into DIY. A full DIY is whereby you do it all yourself, and so you source the items, renovate the items, install the items. You do it all yourself. That's full DIY, and also obviously that'd be the lowest price point. The other option is half DIY and half trade, and that's where you get trade people to come in and they do things like maybe the electrics or maybe the floor laying, or so those sort of things, and so things that you find a little bit difficult to do. I know there's a lot you can learn from YouTube, and so you can do a lot of things yourself. Or you do the full DIY, full trade route, which is whereby you can source all the materials yourself, and then you can get a trade to come in and actually install all the flooring. Maybe they will even renovate certain pieces for you. So the whole thing is completely trade. They just come, they fix things to the wall, they put things to the floor, lay your flooring, they come, they paint your walls, they install your light fittings. Everything is trade. So that's full trade route. But generally what you'll find, even when you have full trade, you do need to do some sourcing of it yourself, but just get the trade people to come to your property. But I think you will find as you go along, you probably will find you're a lot more capable than you actually think you are. But if you're time strapped, I understand the full trade route. That makes perfect sense if you haven't got the time to do it all partly yourself or all yourself. So that's fine. Looking at the hallway, this is part of my books. I have a series of books. I have a whole book on hallway, and so you can go to my there's another website which is called Interior Design Stories .co.uk. So that's www.interiordesignstories.co.uk, and you'll be able to see all the books as well. But this particular story is from one of my books here. And as I say, this is Susan West and her children's hallway. This is when you come in through the front door, and this hallway, it's a very narrow hallway, but what they have on the floor, they have a cushioned floor, because I said they live in an apartment, and it looks stone effect, but it's actually a cushioned floor. So that's wonderful. Yes, it's a cushioned floor, looks stone effect, but it's a great cushioning, and also it's warm underfoot, and it's great sound barrier and easy to keep clean as well. This here is a pew. It's actually a church pew, and you're not sure what a church pew is. A pew is when you go into churches. It's usually the things that people kneel on when they're going to pray. It's the back of the seat, and it's the pew, you know. So there's a church pew, which is you can get those from reclamation yards, a great place to find them. Or you can actually purchase them from stores, certain stores. Reclamation yards are a great place to get it from. They will strip it for you. You can say, can you dip it? And all you need to do is varnish it yourself and put it in place. I suggest screwing it to the wall so that it doesn't come away. And so we're using that as a console table. And then you've got 2 lamps here, beautiful lamps with a wooden base that complement the actual pew itself, and then a beautiful, huge, big mirror. Again, it's something you can pick up at a car boot sale, reclamation yard as well. So you've got that as well. Beautiful, absolutely wonderful piece of furniture. One thing I would say with pieces like that, please do check for woodworm. It's a wooden piece, and if you're going to get it from a reclamation yard, you need to check for a woodworm. But if it's dipped, that will take care of the woodworm, because nothing could survive that acid bath, not even the woodworm. So that's a good way of getting rid of that and making sure that it's fine, it's perfectly fine and usable as well. Or you can just simply buy a solution, paint it on yourself, and leave it for however long it tells you to leave it, wash it off cleanly, and then varnish it yourself. That's a full DIY route, you know, for you. So there is that way of doing it. The doors, now that's sort of this shabby chic element of it. As you can see, you can get that with the with this piece of furniture, beautiful piece of furniture. The floors are pristine, so that's the contrast. The walls, you can, if you paint them a beautiful matte emulsion, that's where you get the shabby chic element, because they just create this lovely sort of somber sort of element to it, and they add, when the light hits them, they create more atmosphere, more drama, rather than it just bouncing straight off. So they absorb and they create different hues. So it's a beautiful, as you can see there in the picture, it's beautiful hues and atmosphere is created immediately. The lanterns, wonderful things, great things as well. You can buy those from second-hand places, reclamation yards again. I love reclamation yards, as you know. You can buy them from there. Also, what I would say, you can source them from stores. Many stores sell that style. It's not a style that they're unfamiliar with. If you go to a lighting shop or part of a lighting department, you'll be able to find that similar item. Please get it fitted by an electrician, a qualified electrician. The reason I say this, because obviously if you mess about with electrics, it can be quite dangerous. But if you're an electrician yourself, then you're fine. You can just go for it and you can do it. And so I'd say do that. Definitely get it fitted. Don't try and do that yourself. It's something that I think needs to be done by code. It needs to be coded and needs to be signed off as safe. So that's very important for you to do. So that's a very straightforward, very similar hallway. Then we look at this part of the hallway. Yummy part. These doors, very simple, same flooring going all the way through from the front door through to here. Then this is the hallway side. So usually hallways are about, you know, most people, they just rush through and there's nothing much happening. But to create drama and theatre with your doors, darling, you're going to love it. Turquoise doors, and then these studs you can buy from any hardware store or a haberdashery type place. Buy the studs, or even from a furniture manufacturers. They sell those sorts of studs. You can buy them varying different sizes. I've used it for two different sizes here. In the corners, the larger studs to form the corners of the boxes, and then in between the smaller studs, so that all that are simply hammered in. So you paint it, draw the rectangles on your door, which sort of imitate panels, and then you simply just hammer them in. Very simply done. If you don't have time to do it yourself, as I say, you can get trade to actually do it. and I'm sure they do it, and it won't take any time at all. The door handles need to be in the same material that's the ironmongery, same material as the studs. So if you have nickel studs or brass studs, brass handle or brass or nickel door handle, etc. So to keep them all in keeping, I'd say go for something aged, like an antique looking, so brass, nickel, distressed, they all get that same sort of shabby chic look. Because we've got this pristine looking door, let's go for a beautiful sort of aged mottled sort of stud to add that little bit of drama and that little bit of door, I call it door jewellery, this. Then look at this. You've got your ordinary little sort of skirting board, but I put a piece of paneling in between the doors, piece of paneling, and painted it the same colours of the doors, just to have that continual draw the eye in. And can you imagine somebody comes to your home? I call the hallway your welcome space. Welcome space. And that is your first impression. Out other than the curb appeal, you know, once somebody gets into your space, that's your welcome space. Some people, most people, will never get beyond your hallway. That's as far as when you open that door, instantly they create an impression, and they can see behind you these little pops of colour and just these intriguing little pieces and the drama and that's created from this beautiful hallway. Just a small space. So much information, so much drama about who you are, and so much creativity. I would say, you know, go to town on your hallway. Go to town. It's your space. You can do whatever you want. And it's a smaller space, so the price point will not be that high. So for this, I put it as a bronze level price point, because you can keep the price really quite low because it's not a big space and there isn't a lot of furniture in there. So that keeps the price quite low. So I've said that this is a bronze level. Not for the quality, just for the fixtures at a minimal level, so bronze levels. We have bronze and we have silver and we have gold levels for different rooms and different areas of your consultation. So this is a bronze level, but it's just really exciting. I'm looking forward to going on this journey with you. I'm so excited about it. I would say please join me in the next video, because I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about the actual detailing and actually bringing this whole scheme together. Thank you for joining me on this. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it speaks to you a journey that you want to go on. And once you've created this amazing hallway, just think about all the other rooms that you can create. Just to give you a little sneak at my hallway, I'm not in the hallway. That room there, that there, is my hallway, and I've used this beautiful toile de jour on the walls and this lovely checkerboard flooring. It's a tiny sort of twirl around sort of hallway, but it works. It works. Hallway is a great space. Your welcome space, and says a lot about who you are. Looking forward to speaking to you in the second part of these videos. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.